Thomas, what you got, Thomas Birkin? Thomas Birkin is a real engineer, Camilo.
Wow.
Well,
Thomas.
my question is, the first matches, where will they be playing the first matches? Will it be on the moon, in space, or in a small space area in the station?
That's a very good question. I think the first matches would likely be in orbit in a place like, for example, the International Space Station. I've seen some footage of the astronauts playing with the ball right around World Cups. They always get the ball out, and in fact, during the Euros, some of the astronauts who were in the International Space Station like to set themselves on either side of the ISS, and then they throw the ball at each other, and then they do big bicycle kicks because there's no gravity, so they can do bicycle kicks.
The only thing that kind of scares me is, what if they did it, the ball hit a vital control and then the power went out? Because I think there'd need to be a specialized
there need to be a special room, and a special room with maybe foam on the edges, so they know that. And I think they have an area where they do workouts that doesn't have any critical components, that I'm sure they can throw the ball and then be sure that they don't hit anything. And I think in the future, once we make a base in the moon, then we'll have a lot of ground on the moon to get our spacesuits and just kick the ball around in the big
gateway.
Space.
That's exactly right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Thomas.
I've seen people, wrestling to the ground. As well. What if the suit broke?
It would have to be a
very strong.
A strong suit with strong materials to avoid that. And I think eventually, so that will be the next transition. So ISS and the space, then maybe we'll go to the moon and play in the moon. And I think the next iteration of the sport might be where they create a dome, like an actual big glass dome, that you have a controlled environment with oxygen, and then you don't need suits anymore. You can remove your suits because you're covered and protected by a big dome. So eventually I think it could be a dome, and we wouldn't require spacesuits to play around. Because sometimes those spacesuits are pretty big and clunky too.
Yeah, true. So
if we could seal a lava tube on the lunar surface, we could create an auditorium on the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
And you could make a big stadium with moon. You could make it with moon rock, like moon concrete. I think that's vital for the future.
That's called regolith. That material is called regolith.
Using regolith to build concrete, because it has good concrete materials and
good properties for structural builds. That's a great idea. I think you should definitely think about how that would look like, and maybe put your ideas on a postcard, and we'll send it to space. I think that's creating a dome of concrete in the moon, and those materials that we have to find in those planets is going to be critical, because it's going to be hard moving materials from Earth, because it's so heavy that we need to utilize the materials that are on the moon or on Mars, and make sure that we know how to work with those materials. So that makes a lot of sense.
So Thomas started the day in the room today, Camilo, by asking about fusion, and actually he wanted to share with us that the way that he sees it forward for all civilization and for humankind is through fusion. And that was his that's how he started today's class.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. So thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. Do you support any clubs, Thomas?
Well, not really, but I think it's a good idea to support football in space, and I think as well, I honestly do think it could also, I think it would be a big up for the space industry as well.
I know.
Because if that would happen, it would get more people interested in space. Which means we can use space. If we solve for space, as Mike Mongo said, if we solve for space, we solve for the Earth.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So if we get just more people interested in it, and football will be a good way to do that, since a lot of people are interested.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think it would be one of a fun activity to do in space. You know, if you're an astronaut and sometimes it's not nice to be stuck in a dome, you could do an activity like football.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I know. Maybe when Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo retire, they can go play a little game in the ISS.